going on, Jeromes? So the Minnesota Vikings had high hopes for 2022 second-round draft pick Ed Ingram, the pride of LSU, and hoping to shore up the offensive line as the Vikings look to build in both of the trenches. But, of course, the 2022 draft class, maybe not so much. Although Lewis Scene's coming around, baby. Let's go. But Ed Ingram has had a lot of lowlights, throughout his first 2 years as a starter for the Vikings. He's had a number of foot sacks. He's had a couple of forced fumbles, and it overall just hasn't been great. And yes, he markedly improved from his rookie season 2022 to 2023, but still, averaging almost 3 pressures a game, having a sack every 3 games, 60.9 PFF pass blocking grade, which is not great. 7 penalties last year. Overall, it's like, okay, well, you improved, but that's just how bad your rookie season was, right? But I did like that the Vikings were going to open things up, having a true blue competition at the guard spots. They re-signed Blake Brandel to a 3-year deal, hoping that the backup would become a solid starter, as well as they brought back Come On Up for the Risner to push both of these guys at the guard spots. Now, Brandel's been great, respect. He's had a really good training camp and performed well in the first preseason game. But Ed Ingram, maybe not so much. And Risner should be ready to go, hopefully, although he has been dinged up with an undisclosed injury from camp. So that kind of sucks. But Ed Ingram, so it's noteworthy that Ed Ingram was the only starter who played on either side of the ball against the Browns on Saturday. Basically, they just want him to do something, but overall, it hasn't been good. He's played 40 snaps over 2 games, 3 pressures allowed, a 16 PFF pass blocking grade, which is not good. 155th out of 159 qualifying guards. And you can do analytics all the live long day. Just eyeball test from both of the preseason games as well as training camp. Just hasn't been there, man. Like, you want him to continue to grow, and it is nice that he improved last year, but we haven't seen that leap in year 3, and he just simply does not look like a competent starting NFL guard. He just doesn't, right? And even though, yes, the Vikings would love to have their second-round draft pick as well as the guy that they paid in Blake Brandel be the 2 starters, I don't think that Ed Ingram should be started. I think that Dalton Risner, if and when he's healthy, knocking on all the wood, should be taking that spot. And maybe it's the thing that Ed Ingram needs. Maybe he just needs a breather and a chance to step back and relearn and retool some things. Also, I don't think that people are ready for this conversation, but Tyrese Robinson, former undrafted guard from Oklahoma, bounced around a couple teams, he's looked better. And yeah, I mean, Tyrese has been going up against 2s and 3s, and Ingram's been going up against the 1s and the 2s. But Tyrese Robinson has looked the part much more than Ed Ingram. So frankly, if it came down to it, I would rather start Tyrese Robinson over Ed Ingram if Dalton Risner can't go. And also, I know that he's a second-round pick. And I know it's tough to give up on high draft picks, but you did trade Andrew Booth Jr., second-round pick in the same draft class. And frankly, Ed Ingram should be closer to not making this team than he should be starting. And again, like when I was really excited when it looked like it was going to be an actual competition, but the Risner potential undisclosed injury potentially complicates that. But if you're trying to get the best 5 out there, Ed Ingram is not one of the best 5. He's simply not. And hoping that he'll turn things around in season, I mean, no. Especially since the Vikings, they have to start this season really fast. They have to get out of the blocks. They can't have a limping out of the gate like they have in previous seasons. They have to start fast. They have to be able to run the ball. They have to be able to protect Sam Darnold. And I don't know how you can say with a straight face that Ed Ingram should be starting right now. I just don't see it happening. So hopefully Risner will be healthy, good to go, or maybe even Tyrese Robinson can turn some heads coming up here. But no, like honestly, Ed Ingram should be sat, and I think that should be that. And hopefully Risner is good to go, and it's going to be left, right, Darrisaw, Brandel, Bradbury, Dalton Risner, and then Brian O'Neill. But I guess we'll see what happens. Ingram's probably going to play in the 3rd preseason game. All the other stars are probably going to sit. They're probably going to make Ed Ingram play the backups against the Eagles. So I guess we'll see. But your thoughts are thoughts. Ed Ingram should not be starting week 1. should not. Let us know your thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You guys know what to do. Skol, production value.